Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this broadcast. I am excited to be coming to you today. It's a very special broadcast that I bring into your homes today. I want to especially say thank you, and good evening, Ground Zero. For a while, we have not been able to come to you with these programs live as we do here on the social media, but I am glad we are all back and set up to be able to come to you simultaneously as we broadcast live on social media. So once more, I like to welcome all of you on Ground Zero, all of you in Europe, all of you in America, all of you in Asia, wherever that you may be. We want to welcome you, and as usual, I will expect that you go ahead, you hit your share button, and let's get this thing rolling as soon as possible, because I got a lot to bring to you today. So please go ahead and you hit your share button. Let those who are not yet, who are not aware I'm live, let them come on quickly. Let's fuel the platform, and let's not keep Ground Zero waiting on ABC. I know they are all tuned in right now. So please go ahead and you hit your share button. Let's populate this platform in the next 10 minutes, so I can come to you with this packed full presentation that I bring to you today. Go ahead, please, and hit your share button. While you do so, I really want to take a few minutes to appreciate all of you out there who have been fans and supporters of ABC, your own television. I came out 2 weeks ago or so and made an appeal for the bills of ABC to be paid. And lots of you have donated lots of money already. It is not yet enough to take care of all of the bills, but I can assure you, you have donated a lot already. We have already been able to take care of 1 month of the arrears. We still have 2 months that we owe. But again, I really want to appreciate you, all of you who have donated, and those who are still to donate. Thank you so very much. I would like to go ahead and read some of the names of the people who have sent in donations to ABC, just to say thank you for making this television station to stand strong. Again, as I do that, please, may you go ahead and hit your share button. Let me know that my audio is good enough for you out there, please. Go ahead and hit your share button and invite others to join. While let me look at those who have sent in contributions to ABC. I like to read those names. So that all of you can be appreciated for supporting ABC to pay the bills. So we have a number of platforms out there for donations for ABC, and we have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we also have GoFundMe. Now, the first names I'm reading are the names of those who donated through Cash App. So if you hear your name, congratulate yourself for making ABC for sustaining ABC. And if your name is not here, is not mentioned, and you know you sent in a donation, please let us know. Also, if your name is not mentioned and you have not yet supported ABC, we are still appealing to you to consider doing so. Please think about that. So I want to particularly thank Agbo. Agbo sent in $150. If you hear your name, we're not calling all of your names, just one of your names. You know your name and you know the amount you put in. So if it is yourself, God bless you. Agbo sent in $150. Zebedee, $25. Thank you, sir. Brian sent in $25. Joyce sent in $30. Ananga sent in $25. Kevin sent in $50. Matthew sent in $150. Frida sent in $250. Titus sent in $40. Awung sent in $20. Eugene sent in $20. Audrey sent in $50. West Side sent in $50. Cyprian sent $30. Easy sent $85. Julius sent in $5. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember the story of the widow's mite who presented the smallest amount of offering in that church service. And Jesus said, that woman gave her all. She gave more, much more than the rich people who were in there putting maybe hundreds of thousands or thousands of dollars. And I want to believe Julius is like that old woman. He gave only $5. That $5 is very symbolic of the willingness to give, to support. And I say this to say that for all of you out there, the amount can never be small. Please, if you can support only $5 like Julius did here, do it. And do not be worried about it. Thank you very much, Julius, for your $5. James sent in $50. Robert sent in $150. Franco sent $100. Thomas sent, I don't know whether it's Thomas or Thomas, sent in $50. Julius sent, that's another Julius, sent in $100. I don't know whether it's the same Julius with the $5, but thank you very much. Nika sent in $30. My info $80. Mary $25. Wesley $100. Money $40. Walter $50. Please, as I bring you these names of those who have contributed to support ABC, go ahead as you join and you hit your share button, please. Thank you. Let's get the platform populated as soon as possible. I have a long presentation to bring to you. Let's do that, please. So I have Walters $50, Moses $150, Victorine $25, Joseph $50, Francis $40, Eunice $50, Boniface $20, Samuel $20, Priestley $15, Matthews $50, Catherine $50, Edwin $50, Adeline $200, Mildred $200, Bridget $50, Abonge $50, Henry $100, Justine $50, Manka $20, Daniel $100, Gang $100, Robert $100, Clement $250. Please hit your share button. Let the numbers grow as quickly as possible. Clement $250, Jonas $150, Christopher $100, Augustine $20, Allen G $25.50, Agnes $100, Pius, thank you for your $6. God bless you. Gertrude $50, Michael $100, Andam $50, Alice $100, Angwa $50, Chrysantos $50, Georges $15. Lizette, $100. Anthony, $20. Francisca, $50. Violet, $50. Constant, $100. Fritz, $100. George, $150. Oscar, put in $25. Anonymous, that means without a name, $50. Celestine, $35. Matthias, $100. Alistair, $50. Oliver, $120. Nelson, $50. Evaristus, $100. Victorine, $100. Zest, $100. And Fidelis, $50. Again, these are all the names of those who put in their donations through Cash App. If you did not hear your name and you know you donated through Cash App, please, you can send us a message at support@abc.com. support@abcambertv.com, and we will be able to track it down. Thank you very much. And for those who paid or sent in their support through PayPal, thank you very much. Raymond, $100. Oben, £20. Fidelia, $100. K Shopping, $36.39. Yaya, $100. Simon, $100. Embassy UK, $247.94. Thank you, sir. Emmanuel, $27.19. Elias, $100. Anna, $50. Another Anna, I don't know whether it's the same Anna, another $50. Dorothy, $100. Vivian, $50.54. Juliana, $50. Asanga, $108.56. Thank you, sir, for those details. Emilia, $50. Felix, $54.21. Buffet, $100. Agnes, $100. NB, $18.82. Thank you very much. Please go ahead and you hit your share button. This presentation is going to be a little bit long, and I want to start as soon as possible. Again, I'm appreciating those who donated to ABC. If you did not hear your name in these names I've mentioned, there are quite many. Please let us know, and we'll make sure that we include your name. And $100. Now, these are the names of those who donated through PayPal. So I've already read those who donated through Cash App. If you're just coming in, that's what we are doing right now. And hit your share button for those of you watching on Facebook. For those of you watching on Ground Zero, just stay put, please. Thank you. Patrick, $30. Buckhead, $100. Azini, $25. Audrey, $100. Amber Light, Japan, $1,911.70. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, sir. And I also have Solange with $55.55. Now, those were the donations that came in through PayPal. If you were here from the start and you didn't hear your name and you donated through PayPal, please let us know. Now, for those who donated through GoFundMe, I have Anonymous, which means he didn't mention his name, he didn't want his name listed, $50. Abdullah, $50. John, $30. Another Anonymous, $10. Julius, $20. Another Anonymous, I guess maybe it's the same Anonymous putting in different amounts, I don't know, $20. Gil, $20. And Emmanuel, $500. Another Anonymous, $300. Another anonymous, $100. Grace, $100. Blaze, $20. Stefana, $50. A guy, $10. Another anonymous with $30. Another anonymous with $20. Jacqueline, $35. Caroline, $20. Eric, $100. And Mengod, $200. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how much has come in so far. Those are the people who have made donations so far in this drive to take care of ABC bills. In total, I don't have the exact figure here, but we have collected a little over close to $11,000. That is the amount that has been collected so far, a little over $10,000. And we have been able to take care of one of the months that we're owing. We're still owing 2 months of ABC bills. Again, thank you very, very much for those of you who have supported this initiative. I want to appeal to all of you out there who still want to donate. We do still desperately need your support to clear the remaining 2 months of ABC bills. Let's not see ABC shut down. It will be a disgrace to you, to all of us who are in this revolution. ABC does not belong to any one individual. It belongs to you, Ambazonians. And so, wherever that you may be, I'm looking at these figures here, and the figures are coming mostly from America. I see very few donations coming from Europe. And I also see that the majority of the donations are coming from ladies, our women. May God bless you. I'm challenging the men. Please pick up your phone. Go to your Cash App. Make a donation to ABC. If you want to do PayPal, use the email address support@abcambertv.com. Again, that address is support@abcambertv.com. Support@abc. You find the email address on your screen right now. Again, you can still go ahead and make a donation. We desperately need it to sustain ABC, to get it moving on. Please use any of those numbers, either PayPal or a Cash App address, to make a donation to ABC. We canceled the GoFundMe account because the charges are just too much for us to maintain. So we are only limited to PayPal and Cash App. So please, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Please, your numbers are not rising to my liking. If you are just joining, go ahead and hit your share button. I have a very, very important presentation that I bring to you today. Now, while you do that, I want to also invite you for a very, very special town hall that we have coming up on Friday, which means after tomorrow. For those of you who live in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Delaware area, this is a one-of-a-kind event that you have not seen in the course of this revolution. We shall be having a town hall in Washington, D.C., and I want to give you the address. The address for that town hall, you can find it on your screen right now. Oxford Event Center. It is holding at the Oxford Event Center, 9700 Martin Luther King Jr. Highway in Lanham, Maryland. Lanham, Maryland. So please, if you live in the DC area, That is where the town hall is taking place. Please consider being there. Bring your family, bring your children. Let them meet the statesmen, some of the statesmen of Ambazonia, and get to learn our history. Let them come and get to learn our history. So please, again, you have the address on your screen. It is open to the public. Everybody is welcome. However, admission will be through a token of $50, and that $50 would go towards supporting ABC. So if you live in the DC area, you live in Baltimore, you live anywhere in that metropolis, please make it a date for Friday to be at this town hall with the Honorable, Venerable Ambassador Folsom and Comrade Sisiko Christmas Ebony. You will not regret that you made it. Bring your children, and when you bring your children, they are less than 18 years, all of you will pay, unless you want to make a generous donation for them. You bring your children, and they are less than 18 years, they will not have to pay. They will have free access into the hall. For the adults, $50 every individual, and again, your $50 will go towards supporting ABC. All right. You have the address on your screen, and if you want to register right now for this conference, you can also use the same PayPal address or email address and the same Cash App number. You find it on your screen right now. So to register for the Friday night town hall, please, you have the information, registration information on your screen. If you want to come and register at the door, at the entrance, that is just fine. That is just okay. Again, it is open to the public, to everybody. But of course, that hall is limited, how many people it can hold. You want to secure your place right away, go ahead and register before you get there. You do not want to come over there and be denied entrance because of capacity. So please call that number or use that Cash App number and the PayPal email address to make your registration. All right. Now, please, as you join, I don't like the pace of the group of these numbers. As you join, hit your share button. Let's populate this platform. Before I bring you the presentation, I have a very, very, very important press statement that was sent to me while I was preparing to come out to you to do this presentation. And this press statement is coming from the chairman of the Judicial Council of your interim government. Again, it is coming from the chairman of the Judicial Council of your interim government. And this press statement is a response to another press statement that was sent out, I think, at the weekend by the chairman of the Restoration Council. For those of you who read that, the chairman of the Restoration Council had made some utterances. And right here, the Judicial Council is responding to that statement that was sent out by Comrade Komita, the chairperson or chairman of the Restoration Council. Now, I would like to bring you that statement, read it verbatim as it is, coming from, again, the chairman of the Judicial Council of the interim government. And it reads, the Judicial Council of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has for a long time been observing and following up events and activities surrounding the Ambazonia liberation struggle for the restoration of the statehood of the British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. It is not the prerogative of this arm of the interim government to get itself involved in social media outings. This present communication is therefore unusual and is a result of the recent decision of the Ambazonia Restoration Council, which is the legislative arm of the interim government. The Restoration Council, in its press release dated March the 3rd, 2019, and captioned, and I quote, "Call for calm," end of quote, openly challenged an executive decision of the acting president, head of government. The same release called for an external audit of the accounts of the Treasury of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. It is the considered and consulted opinion of the Judicial Council of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia based on the following. 1. Mindful of the theory of separation of powers, which is enhanced by our Constitution with 3 arms of government. Number 1, the executive. Number 2, the legislature. Number 3, the judiciary. Taking cognizance that by operation of the theory of separation of powers, no organ of government is empowered to interfere with the daily administration of the order, that the legislative organ violated the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia and extended its bounds. The Judicial Council therefore declares the decision of the Restoration Council legislature as null and void, and consequently makes the following recommendations. Number 1, that the Restoration Council, in the interest of legality, the smooth functioning of each organ, and the paramount interest of the people of Ambazonia in time of war, should consider an immediate withdrawal of its press release number RC dated March the 3rd, 2019, and captured call for calm. The Restoration Council and any other interested body or parties should wait for the result of an internal audit and proceed thereafter if not satisfied, and/or to request for further action. Number 3, the Judicial Council further declares that the Presidential Executive Order creating new accounts to be legal and legitimate, as founded on continuation of government activity in the process of ongoing audit. Number 4, in order to restore the confidence of our people regarding the management of public funds, the Judicial Council is watching with serious concern the ongoing audit and will not hesitate to prescribe further action should there be unresolved issues at the end of the process. And number 5, the Judicial Council finally calls on all Southern Cameroonians without exception to have faith and trust in their government and to continue making usual sacrifices towards assisting our suffering people. Done in Boya, this 6th day of March 2019. Again, that is coming from the Judicial Council, which is the 3rd arm of the interim government, responding to a press statement that was sent out, I think that was at the weekend, by the chairman of the Restoration Council. We are going to make this public in a moment from now. You can find it, if it is not even yet out, in a few moments, in a few minutes. By the time I am done with this presentation, it shall be made public. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining. I am not going to take any more of your time because I know Ground Zero is watching live. This presentation is very, very, very important. Before I do that, I want to remind Ground Zero, tomorrow is Ghost Town. As our leaders go to court tomorrow, there shall be a ghost town tomorrow, Thursday, March the 7th. And of course, Friday also, there shall be ghost town. Nothing, and I mean nothing, that is so-called Women's Day celebration. There is no way that women in our territory can celebrate anything with their children in the bushes, with their children in the hospitals, with some of their children lying in mortuaries. There is nothing like celebration in a time of war. So ladies and gentlemen, again, tomorrow, Thursday and Friday shall be ghost towns in all of Amazonia. There shall also be another lockdown on the 24th of March. There will be a lockdown. Of course, we will bring you more development about this. There will be a lockdown on the 24th of March against this so-called AGC conference being organized in Boya. It has been scheduled for March the 24th. We are totally opposed to that. We are totally opposed to that conference. So again, tomorrow Friday, tomorrow Thursday and Friday are ghost towns. Our leaders are going to court tomorrow. And Friday is being labeled Women's Day in La République du Cameroon. Our women cannot celebrate. No one can celebrate when their children have been sent to their early graves. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, good evening. A federal high court in Abuja, Nigeria on March 1st ordered the return of our president, his 9 cabinet members and 39 other Ambazonians picked up in Nigeria and forced into French Cameroon to be returned to Nigeria. Before the ruling, the judge determined that in the case of Sisiko and the other 39, 2 crimes were committed by the Nigerian government. The court established that they were abducted, which means they were kidnapped. After their abduction, a second crime was committed by the Nigerian government by forcefully sending them to French Cameroon. As reparations, the court ordered that the original 12, the cabinet members, be paid 5 million naira each and 200,000 naira each for the other 39. In making the ruling, the Nigerian court stated that all the abductees had legal status in Nigeria and that they were protected under Nigerian law and the Constitution. Essentially, the court said Sisiko and others committed no crime in Nigeria and were not supposed to be arrested. The Abuja ruling was very, very important, or is very, very important for the reasons we already know. We have known all along that the forced deportation to French Cameroon of Sisiko and others was as illegal as their abduction was in the first place. The interim government has stated previously, ever before their fraudulent trial began in the military court in French Cameroon, that Yaoundé has no jurisdiction over them, and so cannot try them in their kangaroo court. Sisiku and others also drove home that message by their declaration that they are not French Cameroon citizens. Now that the Nigerian court has stated unequivocally that they were protected in Nigeria by the Nigerian law and the Nigerian constitution, and that they didn't commit any crime in Nigeria, does the French Cameroon government and the court still have any more reason to hold them in Yaoundé prisons for another day after they appear in court tomorrow? The interim government of Ambazonia is therefore once more demanding the immediate and unconditional release of our president by transferring them back to Nigeria, where they were picked up from, so they may regain their freedom according to the Abuja High Court. Keeping them behind bars in Yaoundé for a minute after tomorrow's court will only pile up the many trespasses, the abuses, criminalities, and illegalities of the Paul Biya's regime on Ambazonia. Ambazonians, go to bed tonight, hopeful that tomorrow is the last day we shall see Sisiku and others behind bars and in the courts of that foreign country. On another subject, every one of us is a custodian of this struggle for our independence and actualization. And permit me to be a little bit specific to mean those of you who truly still believe in Boya and who are fighting selflessly, aspiring for nothing, for no position, no power, and no control, but for a free and independent Ambazonia. The emphasis on selflessness here is very deliberate because, God forbid, we fail to make it to Boya. We shall not have French Cameroon to blame, but ourselves to blame. French Cameroon doesn't owe us the finances with which to execute this war. French Cameroon doesn't owe us a united and collaborative front to prosecute the war. We owe ourselves all of it, and I mean all of it. I am saying this because it is becoming very, very obvious by the day that not every one of us engaged in this struggle sees it exactly the way it is. For some, this isn't a revolution as we know it. Not many people at the center of the struggle are still fighting to actualize our nationhood. They act up as if we are already in Boya. They see, they embrace, interpret, and engage every action of theirs from the point of view of politics. When it is my trip to Boya, they try to score political points out of it. When they have not succeeded to derail it, when it is issues of transparency and accountability, they look to scoring political points. When it is unity or collaboration, they grandstand, jostle for position, and flex power and make politics too out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, to every stakeholder in this struggle, I say on behalf of this interim government, let us get to settle, or let us get settled on this once and for all, that there is only one interim government, one president, and one acting president for Ambazonia. Let's come to terms with the reality that this interim government is here to stay. It is not going anywhere. Don't get me wrong. This interim government isn't perfect. No one has said it is. The people running it are not perfect either. And should we change them a dozen times, we still shall not have a perfect interim government. No perfect people running it. This is the message I want you to get today. That we need to get settled on this fact that we are not going to have a perfect interim government any of these days. It is not going to happen. Shall the leaders drop it and run because people meet and talk and criticize and make loud-sounding, self-serving resolutions? Absolutely not. That too isn't going to happen. Not until we get to Boya by God's grace. What I hope that you take home from this statement today is the revelation in it. And by that, I mean coming to terms with the fact that curses, fabrications with intent to blackmail, and slander, and insults at the interim government and its managers aren't going to move them nor the revolution forward one bit. The interim government and those who run it, just like our brave fighters on ground zero, are strong or is strong. The interim government is strong. It is firm. It is resolved and resilient. You want change in the interim government? Don't throw stones. It won't help. Instead, come in and let's work together and effect change together. If you are praying and waiting for this interim government to collapse or fail, or if you are waiting for its leaders to resign so that you walk in and take the steering, you may have to wait forever. But why should you have to wait forever when you can just simply demonstrate goodwill and interest to serve your country and be welcome to join the team? I believe that coming to terms with this will rally all of us together with renewed vigor as in the beginning towards defeating the one and only enemy that we have, which is La République du Cameroon. What I'm saying is that the prosecution of this revolution, so long as it remains a revolution, must never be politicized. There is indeed no political party right now in the process. It is still a revolution, a struggle. Let us reserve politics and politicking for Boya. We shall have abundance of time and resources to deploy for politics when we get there. For those operating under the illusion that these folks at the interim government are running away with it, that they may become the bosses once in Boya, they are reminded, or you are reminded, that we still don't have a government. What we have is an interim government, which means we only have a proper government when we get to Boya. Everyone, once we are in Boya, shall have the opportunity and the right to form his or her own political party to contest for governance. What we ought to be doing now is working together and striving to get to Boya first. Fellow Ambazonians, a lot of dust has been raised over the recent executive orders of the acting president, Dr. Sako, especially the one freezing the accounts of the interim government. I want you to know he did nothing out of bounds. He did not usurp his powers, as you have heard from the Judicial Council. He did not usurp his powers, nor try to influence an ongoing audit, as some suggested, by virtue of him freezing the accounts of the government. He acted within his prerogatives, and I would like to state that the accounts were supposed to have been frozen ever before the commencement of the audit exercise. That it wasn't done was an error. It was actually a mistake to have allowed the accounts to remain open and doing business while the audit was going on. You cannot get an accurate audit when the accounts are still open and doing business in the midst of an audit. That is just the fact. It is the way it was supposed to be done. And about the incomplete report leaked on social media last week, we still want everyone to remain calm and collective and wait for the real and complete audit report that should most definitely be available either this weekend or sometime early next week. A complete report will justify some of the expenses that appeared unreasonable in the eyes of many. We want you to rest assured that by the end of the day, by the end of everything, when everything is said and done, every dime donated by you would have been accounted for. It is for that reason we have termed or declared this year, 2019, a year of transparency and accountability. We want you to have confidence in the system, in your leaders. We want you going forward to trust that your contributions or donations are efficiently and transparently deployed. We will never have the days of scapac where funds were siphoned and diverted through back channels from online into private pockets repeat itself again. For now, we wait for the audit report to be out. It's only then we can be at liberty to talk elaborately on this issue of accountability. On a different subject, the AGC, the holding of the AGC in Boya scheduled for this month precisely on March the 24th, as recently announced by the conveners. The interim government wishes to make it very, very, very clear to the conveners, Cardinal Toomey and the rest. We wish to make clear our opposition to the conference. We hold the view that conveners of the conference have acted rather dubiously, very, very dubiously, and do not have the aspiration for a free and independent Southern Cameroons are had, as endorsed by the overwhelming majority of Southern Cameroonians. About 3 weeks ago, Eli Smith was on a consultation mission in the USA to meet with the interim government and some other Ambazonian groups to find common ground for all to participate in that conference. The interim government embraced participation at the conference, provided certain conditions, especially as regards security, were taken care of. When Eli Smith left the United States, consensus from the consultations was that the conference hold in the USA for security reasons and to allow for full participation of the interim government and Ambazonian diaspora as a whole. However, we have been taken aback by the announcement on Canal 2 television recently by Mr. Smith to the effect that the conference has been slated to hold in Boya on March the 24th. Again, that is why we are declaring a lockdown for the 24th. And they have done this, they have declared the holding of the meeting without the courtesy of explaining to the diaspora stakeholders the sudden change of position. It is for this reason and others we describe Mr. Smith's mission to the USA as dubious. The interim government will remain totally opposed to that Karinatumi's conference. We have stated previously that for the conference to hold anywhere and for this interim government to participate, the following conditions would have to be made. Number one, change the name of the conference from Anglophone General Conference to British Southern Cameroons or Ambazonia General Conference. Because we are a people's group. We have an identity. We cannot be reduced into a language group. Number two, the British Southern Cameroons Conference must hold in a location that is free from intimidation, free from insecurity, risk, and which allows all those who want to attain without any fears, especially the Southern Cameroon diaspora. We note that in this New Year's speech, the president of French Cameroon, Paul Biya, declared an intensification of his war against Ambazonians. That makes it even more risky for any such conference to take place within Ambazonia. Consequently, the conference must hold outside of any territory under the control of French Cameroon, which is waging war against the Southern Cameroons and killing our people. Therefore, it cannot hold within the British Southern Cameroon territory or in French Cameroon. Number three, the conference must be a meeting exclusively for Southern Cameroonians. That is to mean without their murderers, without our murderers, our oppressors, our persecutors in attendance. They cannot be there. People like Paul Atanganji, Patrick Ekemada, the Franklin Jomes of the world. This is important for the fact that they could just use such a meeting to identify pro-independent speakers for assassination. Number four, the atmosphere of the meeting must allow for complete, frank, and free expression of opinions. A thing impossible in the presence of French Cameroon's officials of any kind. Therefore, no French Cameroon official of any status whatsoever shall be allowed to attend that conference if it holds. Participation for Ambazonians willing and able to attend. Every Ambazonian willing and able to attend shall also have the will, the ability to vote. Number five, we note that a pre-agreement for representation of the different opinion by pro-independentists, federalists, and unionists could easily or feasibly mitigate unbiased participation. This is the position of the interim government about Karinatumi's conference. The interim government is open to anything that will genuinely serve the interests of the majority and the people of the British Southern Cameroons. The interim government stands for complete transparency with regard to all initiatives intended for the people of the British Southern Cameroons. What the interim government will not be part of is any initiative that is based on the preconceived idea of one and indivisible Cameroon, or any initiative that begins by subjecting the people of the British Southern Cameroons to eternal damnation under the oppressed regime in French Cameroon. To the best of our understanding, these conditions have not yet been met. And so, we are declaring that conference scheduled for Boya on March the 24th, convened by Cardinal Toomey and others, illegal in our territory. There shall be no security guarantees for anyone going to Boya or anywhere else in Amazonia for such a conference. That is the position of this interim government. On a separate development, I want to formally announce the holding of the All Amazonia Stakeholders Conference. It is scheduled for April 11 through the 14th in Berlin, Germany. This is your interim government organized conference put together with the sole purpose of syncretizing ideas that should rejuvenate the roadmap for the struggle. It shall also be a stock-taking conference that gives the interim government the restructuring deemed necessary. All country and regional coordinators, local governments and county leaders, Restoration Council members, cabinet and some also and other statesmen of Amazonia shall be participating in that conference. Again, the conference is coming up in Berlin, Germany, beginning April 11 through the 14th. A detailed agenda shall be communicated to you down the road. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that this message makes sense to you. I am going to stop here and I will open the phone for any question that any of you out there may have. The number to call is 603-682-2687. Again, the number you want to call is 603-682-2687. We are not taking any WhatsApp calls, please. Direct line calls only. Well, if you're on ground zero, you are welcome to call on WhatsApp. If you're not calling from, if your number is not seen to be coming from ground zero, you call on WhatsApp, your call will not be taken. So please, if you have any question on any of the subjects I brought to you a few minutes ago, call the number 603-682-2687, and I'll be glad to take any question from you before I quit. All right, the phone lines are open. So please, if you have a question, go ahead, make a phone call, 603-682-2687. And while you do that, again, I want to remind those of you who live in the Washington, D.C., Maryland area of the one-of-a-kind town hall that is coming up on Friday, a day from today, taking place in Lanham, Maryland, Oxford Event Center. I think the address is 9700 Martin Luther King Jr. Highway in Lanham, Maryland. You don't want to miss it. I encourage you, bring your children. If they are under 18 years old, they will not have to pay any registration to go in. But other adults will have to make a token donation of $50 that go towards ABC. Again, this is going to be a live event with Ambassador Folsom, who shall be giving us driving some inspiration to all of us in this generation of Ambazonian fighters. These are people who have fought the fight and they have passed on the baton, and they are out to give us inspiration. Also featuring shall be Sisiko Christmas Ebony. I encourage everybody in the Maryland area, please go do your registration now, because the seating is limited. The seating is limited. Secure your seat before coming there. You can come there and pay at the gate. But I will encourage you to be sure of your seat. Secure it now with your $50 donation. I am there to conduct that town hall myself. I look forward to seeing you. Again, the address is Oxford Event Center, 9700 Martin Luther King Jr. Highway in Lanham, Maryland. So please, that is on Friday, this Friday, starting at 7 p.m. on the dot. It will be broadcast live to Ground Zero. For those of you who have friends on Ground Zero, who have family on Ground Zero, and you want them to see your face, hey, this is where you should be on Friday night. Come to this live event. Let Ground Zero see what we are doing here. And let's listen to the wisdom of Ambassador Folsom and Sisiko Ebony Christmas. Thank you for that. I will put the numbers, I gave those numbers on your screen for registration. That is the number you have on your screen right now for the registration. You can pay through PayPal, register through PayPal. When you register through PayPal, please just print the receipt and bring it along with you to the event ground on Friday evening at 7 p.m. You pay by Cash App. Just bring your evidence to the ground and we'll walk you right in. We shall have the names also there to verify those who are pre-registered. If you are unable to register by PayPal or Cash App, remember you can also come in and register at the entrance. And again, if you have kids who are below 18 years, please bring them. Let them come and listen and learn our history from those who have walked the walk. Ambassador Folsom and Sisiko Christmas Ebony. Again, you have the registration information on your screen. Just use PayPal or Cash App and bring your receipt, or you can come to the entrance on Friday evening and do the registration. I want to see you there. Now, I want to believe nobody has a question. Everybody is satisfied with the presentation tonight. And I just want to say thank you and thank all of you out there who are supporting ABC to stay alive. I still want to plead with you. We need your support. We need your help to clear the 2 months arrears that we are still owing. This revolution cannot do without a medium of information like ABC. When you see every revolution, they have a television, they have a radio station. And we have one, and we cannot allow it go. I am appealing to you. We're going to be launching what we call Amber ABC Club. We shall be advertising that club for those that want to belong to it and to support ABC. We will launch it and advertise it, and we expect that you will join and be one of the privileged persons to say, I sponsor, I support ABC. Thank you very much for joining the broadcast today, and good night.